As the Regans would say, salutamos, or ave. Welcome back to Gods and Gamemasters, episode 5 of my world building series. This one is called Vyzantos, the Evil Empire, and we're going to use the pantheon we made way back in Gods, filing off the serial numbers, my first world building video. Byzantine and Roman history, and standard fantasy tropes about evil empires to detail this critical region. You can find me at Jack of Tales on Twitter. All my links are in the description, including the link to my one published adventure, Sunken Temple of the Swamp God, over on DM's Guild. Support me on Patreon if you like what I do, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications. And leave comments. Tell me what you think of the content and what you might have done differently. I accept tips on Ko-Fi as well. I've got a website and a blog. Patrons on the Patreon get early access to the episode scripts before the video even airs, as well as commercial-free versions of all my videos. About a week after the videos air, I'll put a textual version of the content on my blog. Both Patreon and the blog will eventually get the fully worked versions of the gods, at the very least, and possibly the setting as a whole, if there's enough interest. I also provide custom-designed pantheons, gods, cults, bad guys, and the like, and will provide world-building consultation as well. So, here we go. At the fall of Rega, Vyzantos would have been ruled by an imperator, as Eastern Emperor of Rega, just as Rome was at the equivalent time, remember. But by the time of the roughly 1100s on our world, the Byzantines called their emperor Basilius, or sovereign. Given how the name of the empire has drifted from Byzantine to Vyzantos in our setting, we can let the title drift similarly to Vasilos. We know that after the fall of Rega, Vyzantos chose to turn their worship to Enteritus and his family, since the gods of Rega had apparently forsaken their people. So, taken with evil empire tropes, what does that mean for us? Heck, let's go whole hog and use the Dark Lord tropes too. Let's assume that right at the fall of Rega, the Eastern Emperor, Imperator Regulus Vlosiros Magnus, immediately turned to the Dark Powers to save the remains of his empire. The Snake people come to his aid in securing his borders, in policing his people, in controlling the commoners. He himself becomes immortal, powerful, terrifying, taking on the name Vasilos Kyrios Magniades, Sovereign Lord Descendant of Magnus, God Emperor of Vyzantos. Is he undead? Draconic? Simply deifically empowered? Most likely none but he and his closest advisors know, but he has ruled Vyzantos for 800 years and more, expanding its borders east and south by conquest. In the north, the barbarians resist, and in the west, Scaria holds fast. Vasilos is dedicated to Enteritus first and foremost, an aficionado of serpents, war, and death, an exquisite tyrant. But he also reveres Ricketson, enjoying pointless strife, and Metis, reveling in causing fear for its own sake. What does that mean for the nation he rules? Nothing good. His house colors are green and black, a green serpent on a black field. The eastern and southern nations he has conquered provide him with the masked and mysterious immortals, special forces like the Roman Arkanoi. The horse nomads to the east and northeast provide him with truly dangerous cataphractoi, horse archers and lancers, true heavy cavalry. The serpent folk move through his society, mostly hidden, watching always, encouraging the most decadent of practices. Undead exist at all levels, in all walks of life, some hidden, some open. Whole legions of skeletal warriors stand ready in the depths of his fortresses. More legions of heavy infantry, recruited from all regions of the empire, include humans, orcs, hobgoblins, and Wanti. Auxiliaries made up of goblins, kobolds, and others handle the flanks and ranged combat. The average person lives in utter terror of the monsters in their midst, and of their own rulers, and of the secret police, known only in hushed whispers as the Cryptea. Culturally, the empire mixes the complicated politics of the Byzantines, the deific pretensions of the Persians, and the wonderfully cliche tropes of the evil empire and evil overlord lists. To subvert some of them, though, the God Emperor seeks out the finest candidates and honestly rewards them for wise advice. He treats his officers and his subordinates well, only mistreating those he sees as unimportant. Peasants, criminals, rebels. Although he will make good faith offers of employment to competent rebels. Crime is kept low by extraordinarily draconian laws and punishments. But many exceptions are made for the rich, the powerful, the connected. Nobles can do no wrong. The lifestyle of the rich or important is lavish and decadent to the extreme. Slavery is common and harsh. Slave rebellions kept down by severe abuse and culling. The God Emperor is ruler and high priest, as was the Regan practice, with human sacrifice to one or more of the Dark Three occurring every month at the dark of the moon, as well as on other special occasions. The science of the Empire is advanced as well, with full plate armor and repeating crossbows being available to the truly rich. Complicated alchemy and twisted magics are more common in the Empire as well. Only the great valor of the people of Scaria prevents them from taking the whole known world. There are large swaths of destroyed lands, ruined by mining or industry, but nobles have perfect lands to retreat to, lands that no one may exploit or even hunt. Peasants, serfs, slaves, they all struggle to keep themselves and everyone else fed, and city folk are kept under control with grants of free grain and bloody gladiatorial matches. Literal bread and circuses. Rich parts of cities, especially the capital, are among the most beautiful in the world, but that same city will have truly repugnant slums and dangerous tenements. The distant province of Mavros, like old Egypt, provides truly huge amounts of grain for the rest of the empire. People in towns get fed, but they don't get fed well. Examples of the Byzantine politics of Vyzantos that the God Emperor uses to keep his subordinates busy and distracted are as follows. There's a senate made up of the lords of the many noble houses that technically elects new emperors and ratifies new laws and decrees. Unfortunately, there's no need to elect a new emperor if the old one never dies, and careful manipulations and fear ensure that the Senate will always ratify the laws that the God Emperor proposes. There are layers of imperial service, both military and bureaucratic, with multiple agencies given similar responsibilities, so they act as watchdog over each other. There are many noble houses competing for imperial favor for the best fiefdoms. Think of Dune or Game of Thrones. It's a heck of a threat to put on the borders of your campaign. I'd start a campaign in this world in a time of relative peace, after the Scarians have beaten back an invasion through their own great valor and the aid of the rough terrain of their home. But maybe war is looming again on the horizon, and all the free nations of the West must come together if they're to survive the assault of Vyzantos. Maybe the only way the Empire can be stopped is to recover some great artifact from the ruins of Rega. Possibly it will be necessary to regain the favor of all the Regan gods. What do you think? What else might we need to do with this empire? Comment below, both on these matters and how you might have had the setting develop differently, and why. Join us next time when we start narrowing in on a starting area for a game, which is an important part of world building. I'll look forward to exploring that in Scaria, Life on the Border.
Max, say hello to the internet.
Say hi. Hi, this is Max. This is the young lady, actually an old lady, but, always our child, who was making noise throughout about half the video because she just couldn't stop chewing. But, Max, say hi to Omar. Omar belongs to Matt Mercer, who, at some point might look at one of my videos. Who knows? Or, I'm sorry, I got that backwards. Matt Mercer belongs to Omar. Is that better?
Yes.
Okay.
Obviously.
Say bye.
Wiggle feet. Oh, no. Okay, I got you. You've been pigging out. You're getting heavier.
Vyzantos, the evil empire. Vyzantos, the evil empire.
Max is like, why did you pick me me up.
Vyzantos, the evil empire. Vyzantos, world building 5, evil empire, so come on, let's drive. No? Okay.
Stop looking right at me.
Why? Do people believe that everyone ceases to exist because I'm on camera?
Always look over at me when you're back. Oh God, you're so heavy. You're so heavy. She's like, you're so rude, is what you are. So he has to be like, wait, Maximus, but a girl? Like, that's not her actual name. Max, can you go lay down?
Should literally just wait till I start talking.
I'm just gonna hand you the dog. You're gonna be like, where did the corgi come from? I swear to God, Max, stop.